And as this race is neck and neck, voter recount provisions are being scrutinized in a few key states. Now, Evan Perez, he has been reporting on this for us. He joins us now. Let's talk about the states where these recount provisions could come into place. Evan, walk us through them.
Well, you know, there are several states that have funky rules, but key among them is really Ohio. Ohio is believed to be the state where there are some funky rules, in particular because of the way they count provisional ballots and absentee ballots. Their deadlines basically could push a result in case that the result is very close. It could push a result to well past Thanksgiving. So let's have fingers crossed that that doesn't happen.
People are shuddering all around, including people who follow the stock market, hearing about that, waiting until Thanksgiving. Let's talk a little bit about these provisional ballots. Some people are saying, what exactly is a provisional ballot? Who gets them? Some people this morning here in New York who have always voted in one place showed up there. Their names weren't on the list. They got a provisional ballot. What exactly does that encompass, Evan?
Well, you know, if you leave out any information, for instance, if your information doesn't match when you go to vote, they often will provide you a provisional ballot, which means that they basically have to take it back and double check to make sure that, you know, for example, you haven't voted, you know, elsewhere, or that you're not, let's say, registered somewhere else. So that is usually what happens. You know, in some states, in Florida, for instance, they tend to reject more than half of provisional ballots, which is why this is a very closely watched issue, especially in Ohio, which again is viewed to be, you know, likely to be close. Under 50% I'm sorry, just over 50% of provisional ballots there tend to be accepted.
Evan, when we talk about the number, the sheer volume of provisional ballots in Ohio, what kind of numbers are we talking about?
We're talking about, some people are expecting over 300,000. The last election in 2008, there were about 200,000, and the state changed the way it's counting those ballots. For instance, the state is saying that you know, more information needs to be provided by the voter, so that to make sure they're counting them correctly. So that is one point of contention, which we may yet see, depending on how tonight goes.
And Evan, in some of these states like Ohio, Florida, Colorado, Pennsylvania, that do have automatic recounts, if the margin is too thin, what exactly is too thin? What is the numerical too thin?
Well, it's 0.5% basically of the votes cast. And so that is basically what automatically triggers a recount. Now, I was in Florida in 2000 when you had a recount, Bush v. Gore, and those were 35 days we'd all like not relive.
Yes, I remember that, and the hanging chads all too well. All right. Well, we will watch into the night, and obviously all eyes will all be primarily on Ohio. Evan, thanks so much for being with us.